Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So, I'm still getting over this bug, whatever it is, but I wanted to take a look at this amazing new figure, which was courtesy of my good friends over at TitanToys.com. Guys, definitely check out TitanToys.com. They're a great resource for toys all year round. You can pick up any action figures you can. If you're still on the lookout for the Batman Tumbler, which was exclusive to McFarlane's store in the United States, but apparently Canadians got a little bit of a boost because, you know, Uncle Toddy's really good to his Canadian fans. That's right, guys. He is available right now on TitanToys.com. Head over there, pick up your version of the Tumbler to go alongside with your Batman v Superman from TitanToys.com. Their site is inclusive of tax, so anything that you see there in US or Canadian is inclusive of tax, so you guys don't have to worry about that part of it. But if you spend $250 or more on TitanToys.com, you can get free shipping, and isn't that everything that you ever wanted? Plus, they do have payment plans. I just figured that out. So you guys can sign up for payment plans with Cecil on TitanToys.com. That's obviously a great thing to do, and you guys won't regret it. But today, I wanted to take a look at something really, really special. I've been very, very excited to look at this particular figure because this one came out of complete left field for me, so I'm super excited to see exactly what this is all about. Guys, today we're going to look at FondJoy's Batman from Batman v Superman. It was crazy, everybody. Officially licensed. Let's have a look. Well, this is something I wasn't expecting. First of all, this product is based off of a very, very old property. This is Batman, the Ben Affleck version of Batman, from Batman v Superman. I mean, I don't have anything against older properties. You know, I'm the whole channel is about nostalgia, but it's very interesting that this should come out, you know, in 2024. 2023, 2024, and be based on a property which is just that old. Mind you, in my opinion, it has one of the best Batman fight scenes ever, so I'm not against it, for sure. But other than that, there are a couple of other things which kind of catch my attention with this particular product. First of all, this Batman comes from a company called FondJoy. I know nothing about FondJoy. It literally came out of nowhere. I have no idea who or what FondJoy is. I will have to say that they do apparently have a license from DC. You know, let's just bring this in a little bit closer, and you can actually see this is an official DC license. Now, I think it's DC license for, like, Asia, as you can see the writing there. So that is probably one thing, which is one of the main reasons why we haven't really heard about this product. And, again, I don't know anything about FondJoy. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I believe that they are a Chinese company, and this is definitely something which really is piquing my interest. An officially licensed product from China, from a company I've never heard of. So this one is going to be a very interesting unboxing. It also came with this little addition, this tiny little box, and it's nondescript, has no information on it whatsoever. It just says FondJoy. That's all it says on here. It doesn't even say on any part of the box what this is supposed to be. So, is this a bonus? Is this something that, you know, I'm supposed to get excited about? I don't know. I don't really know what that is. So, anyway, without further ado, let's unbox this thing and see exactly what FondJoy has to offer in the, I believe it's 1/6 scale. Although they say, I believe FondJoy calls it the 1/9 scale. Very strange. Very strange, you know, overall marketing on this one. But at any rate, let's have a look at this. First of all, we've already taken a look at the bonus package, so we'll just put that aside for now. Let's take a look at the packaging itself. So, this is wonderful. I do like the overall appearance. We do have Batman there. Obviously, that is supposed to be Ben Affleck, which is interesting, seeing as they're trying their best not to show that it's Ben Affleck. It's really weird. We're going to get to that in a minute. Over here, we do have the Warner Brothers copyright and Warner Brothers v Superman copyright, Dawn of Justice. There's the DC logo, the WB logo. There's the DC logo up there. The official hologram sticker, which you can see, it's actually hologramming. Yes, that's right. On the side, we have Batman v Superman, the original logo. Now, mind you, I don't remember this logo being part of Batman v Superman. This actually is sort of, I think it's doing kind of double duty. I think they're trying to capitalize on the, 89 Batman, because that's actually more reminiscent of 89 Batman. And then, of course, we have the Batman v Superman at the top. It also has this amazing 85 Years of Batman logo on the side. So, celebrating the 85th anniversary of Batman, which I believe was actually a number of years ago. Kind of interesting. Putting over to the other side, we do see some more legalese in, I believe that is Chinese. Some warning labels. This is not for anyone under the age of 3. Well, duh. There's the barcode if anybody's interested. We do have movable mold option parts. So that's interesting. Movable molding option parts. And just by judging from the photos, I think we're in for a treat, everybody. There is this speckling detail, and this is actually more of a matte finish. It's kind of interesting to see that. So that's actually why we're having such a difficult time seeing this under this light. I have to tilt it in order for you guys to actually see what it's supposed to be. But yeah, we have posture A and posture B, and then we do have everything that it comes with on the back of the card. We see some swappable hands, the stand. That's really cool. I really appreciate the stand. I believe that's the grapnel hook, and a couple batarangs. That's really cool. And there's Batman himself. So yeah, interesting branding, and of course the same thing on the other side. All right, well, now that we've come down to it, let's open up this bad boy and see what we got. Wow. I gotta tell you guys, this is, wow. It's very rare, these days anyway, that I see a figure and am a little taken aback. I have no idea about this company. I really don't. There's nothing about this company I actually have any knowledge of, and yet they managed to actually wow me for, right out of the box. I have a lot of things to say about this particular figure, and we're going to get to that in a second. First thing I do want to mention is that presentation means a lot, and I really do have to say that because I'm a graphic designer, you know what I mean, by trade, and I really do appreciate great box art, great, presentation in terms of like the delivery of packages. So, first of all, I do want to say, and I know that a lot of you guys are like, you're talking about the box? I'm like, yeah, I'm talking about the box. This is a great box. I just have to say, because it's got a couple of things going on here. We have spot lamination happening here, which doesn't mean anything to most people, but there's a lot of, speckling done in this treatment here. The presentation is actually top-notch, in my humble opinion. I gotta say it that way. And in terms of like replaceability and putting this back in terms of like mint condition or non-mint condition, whatever you want to say, this thing has magnets. Like, that's like next level stuff, man. Like, that's just absolutely crazy. And it's got two different, slightly, not that powerful magnets, but still, that is pretty cool, man. Like, in terms of like premium products, this is something else, man. Like, this is crazy. Is this a premium product? We're gonna find out. But for now, the overall presentation in terms of like what you get right out of the box in the box itself is already pretty good for what you are presented with as soon as you get this figure. Moving back to the figure now, because that's what it's really all about. I do have to say, I actually am rather impressed. I'm just going to get this out of the way right away. This is a pretty good likeness of Ben Affleck as the Batman. I mean, yeah, there are. I guess I'm trying to figure out where this would land in the toy space. You know what I mean? Like which company do you really compare this to? And the closest thing I think I can come up with is a mix between SH Figuarts and Mezco, or Mafex. I think those three would be the yardsticks that you measure this guy up against. And by that measure, I do have to say, this is a pretty damn good likeness of what I would expect to see from a Ben Affleck type of character. I mean, he looks pretty much like he did in the movie. I really do have to admit that. There's not much paint on this. There is a little bit. You can see some, 5 o'clock shadow on his the part of his face's chin, which is revealed. There is a slight, pink wash or, slight pink detail in the lips, which really helps. It really does, everybody. And the separations between the cowl and the chin, pretty damn good. The eyes as well. Are they perfect? No, not exactly. But they do a decent enough job. I mean, you can even see some eye shine in there, which is always a really great little bit of detail. The cowl itself is wonderfully designed. I mean, like, it really is the way you saw it in, Batman v Superman, with the shorter, ears and that really, furrowed brow. You know what I mean? Like, and it really does capture the spirit of what Ben Affleck looked like in the movie. This is above and beyond what I was expecting for this figure. And, comparing apples to oranges, I mean, if we bring up a picture of SH Figuarts right now, and then we bring up another figure of, Mafex or Mezco, right? This is definitely up there with these guys, surprisingly. And, for the price point, I actually am very impressed at what they were able to deliver here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The cowl itself looks really, really good. And I love this cape. Not to get too sidetracked, but this cape is awesome. I like the material that they've used for the inside. It looks like, I guess it would be like some sort of fabric on the inside. Very much the way you would see the inner lining of like a leather jacket. But then you flip it over to the other side, and it's more like leather. Pleather, you know what I mean? It's more like that. You can see the leather type of folding there. The cracks and the creases. That's neat. I do appreciate that. Now, out of the box, it was a little bit dusty. It was lying on top of a plastic sheet, but you can just wipe it off, and you can see, for the most part, all that white powder. You can even dampen a cloth and maybe get in there as well to get into the grooves. But other than that, it's not bad. You can see a little bit of the wrinkling here, where it was pressed up against the packaging. But other than that, it drapes reasonably well. I mean, if I was to, stand him up again, and then just have him with the draped cape right on this side. And it's got I forgot to mention, it's got a bit of a wire, right? So, look at that. You can actually just pinch it a little bit. It bunches up a bit, and I'm just doing this on the fly right now. But, I mean, that's not bad. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. In terms of what I can just achieve in 2 seconds. That is not bad. That is not a bad look for Bruce Wayne right there, for the Batman, right? I like that. That is not bad. Moving in closer, we can see the bat symbol itself. That is pretty cool. I do like that. Now, I was informed by another reviewer that the symbol is actually the incorrect symbol. This is actually the Justice League version of the bat logo on this version of Batfleck, right? Ben Affleck as the Batman. And I don't really mind it. Honestly, I don't really mind it. But if you are a stickler for details, right? If you are going to go and say, this is the Batman from Batman v Superman, then yes, this detail is actually incorrect. It should not have these little angular lines on the inside of the bat symbol. Interesting. The texture on the suit is interesting. It looks like it's got this cross pattern, or this these angular lines, and that really reminds you of, I don't know, some sort of mesh weaving. Or I think somebody said that this is supposed to emulate Kevlar, which is kind of neat. I do like the way it looks. It's very militaristic. You know what I mean? It's got that very heavy armor set feel, which is nice. We have some wonderful sculpting here on the side. It's got all this wonderful stitching here. I really like it. It really is reminiscent of the way he looked in the movie. Almost, trying to emulate the fact that he's got, these abs. You know what I mean? Like it's got that pattern here for where his abs would be, which is kind of neat. We can even see some musculature there. Very subtle hints, and there is a very slight wash. I don't know if it's caught on camera, but there is a very, very slight wash, and it really helps to highlight right there. If I do this and then I bring it over here, you can see the wash actually helping to accentuate the musculature in the suit, which I really enjoy. That's actually really neat. I love the gold touches on the belt, the utility belt. That's beautiful. I really like the way they've done that with this particular, and the colors they've actually chosen. Now, I know that that's probably been suggested by the movie, character designs, but still, it's nice to see. That pattern continues all the way down to his legs, and here's something that's really interesting, getting into articulation a little bit. I noticed that these legs, they are a bit tight on the hinge, but if you actually move it down, it's got a drop hinge, a really long drop hinge. You can actually give him another almost a full inch in terms of height if you really wanted to get him, much taller than he actually really is. That's kind of neat. If he ever has to square up against Darkseid or something. His boots are pretty neat too. They have this wonderful, again, sculpture that makes it look more like leather. I love the way they've done that. It's really neat. It's really neat. It's got that little cuff at the top, and the boots, they got these little gold tips at the end, which is very reminiscent of the way they look in the movie, and they've got toe articulation. Now, a little bit of a comment here. I don't know if this is straight out of the box or not, but it is not tight. This is a very loose toe. This one's a little bit tighter on this side, but on the right foot, it's actually very, very loose. This one's actually a lot tighter. So just keep that in mind, guys. Maybe out of the box it's a little bit different for everybody, but still, it's quite not concerning. I mean, like, not many figures have toe articulation to begin with, so it's interesting just to see that in general. The sculpt on the bottom of the foot is very nice as well. And again, overall, the sculpting is really cool. I really do like these little highlight, gold or brass sort of, little details there. The back is looking pretty damn cool. Again, everything is unified by that wonderful texture pattern. Even the belt buckle. I love the fact that it's a real world type of buckle. You know what I mean? You can actually see that on your backpack and stuff. Really neat. Love it. Yeah, his arms are very cool. I really do like the gauntlets themselves. They have the tips here where he uses to. These are used to for extra grip or deflection. The hands are really cool. They have these little, again, brass knuckle kind of idea, which is neat. That's awesome. And of course, the wrist articulation is there. Very neat. Full 360 on that. It's even got a hinge joint right at the base. That is so cool. And the sculpting on these are really nice. We'll take a look at some of the other hands when we get to that. It looks like he does have a lot of movement with his arms. They can go about 90 degrees on the joint itself at the top. They do have what appears to be a butterfly joint, at least a little bit. Don't know how far that can go. Let's find out. So if we just take it in like this and just move it in. Yeah, it's a bit more of a, there it is. So you can see the level of articulation right there. It's actually really, really cool. Getting it all the way across. That's neat. We can actually do stuff like this. Yeah, awesome. There's a bicep swivel right at the top here. The arms are double jointed. Go to about there. He can literally punch himself in the face. That's really cool. And of course, he has, as I said earlier, a wrist articulation. Neat. I'm very impressed with this figure so far. It really is an interesting character. His head is on a ball joint, as per usual. He can do a full 360 degrees on his head. He has an ab crunch, which goes about that much to the front. Oh, I revealed that too early. And then that much to the back. And then his back itself arcs all the way back that way. And it will actually, which is on a ball peg on the front. And it can crouch all the way that way. Neat. Hold on for a second here, guys. His leg, as I said, has a drop on his waist for the drop leg. He can kick about that far. And he can kick back, let's say, around that far. But if you drop his leg, he can kick about that far. A lot of options with this character. It's really, really nice. Without the drop leg, he can put a side there. But then if you drop the leg a little bit, he gets a little bit more movement. Not much. It's neat. And then, of course, his knee is a double jointed knee. Running about that much there. Very, very cool. And he does have the ankle tilt and swivel. And of course, I talked about the toe articulation already. Very nice. All right. Let's talk about a few more of his other features. So, Batman comes with a host of different accessories, including his signature batarangs. These are really cool. And actually very sharp. I am literally poking myself right now, but you gotta love the amount of detail that's in these. These things are incredible. I love the little silver wash that they have on them. It looks really great. They are quite thin, so when you're putting them in his hands, just be very, very careful, because it can get a bit tricky, admittedly. He comes with 2 of those, so that's always a bonus. He might lose one, but he's got another. He comes with a host of different hands, including these slightly splayed hands, but these are the ones that you actually put the batarang into, which is neat. You can see that it's just got a tiny bit of a grip on it. Very, very slight. These are actually purpose-built, and I like that. I love the sculpting on these things, too. They're actually quite well done. And, of course, you can see the brass knuckles on each of these. It's a lot of fun to have. So, ideally, what you want to do is you just want to slip this in like this, and he'll just grasp it. Just like that. It's quite nice. Sweet. He comes with 2 of them, as you can see here. So you can literally double fling. The other hand is more of a gripping hand, and this, I believe, is for the grapnel hook. That's really nice. You can see the trigger finger there. Really has that wonderful effect. And the way you do that is you just take the grapnel, which I didn't showcase yet, and there it is. I love the wonderful details on the grapnel as well. It's got this cartridge here on the side. I wonder if that's a refill cartridge, or maybe that's the air cartridge itself. It has that little silver piece in the front, and that dial in the back, probably where they rewind the grapnel itself. And it's got this ornate handle, very much like it was built, steampunk-ish, or back in the 1930s or something like that. A repurposed weapon. A more civilized weapon for a more elegant weapon for a more civilized age. So then you can just take the hand, as we can see here, and position it just like this. And there you go. Perfect grip. Exactly the way it was meant to be. That has 2 different variations on it, the left or the right, so he can, in different situations, use that at his leisure, depending on if you are right-handed or left-handed. And this is a lot of fun. I really appreciate this. It's a little thumbs up. I think this was actually from not Batman v Superman. I think this was from Justice League, if I remember correctly. I don't ever remember him doing a thumbs up in Batman v Superman. I don't think so. I remember Val Kilmer doing a thumbs up. I remember that immensely. But I don't ever actually recall him doing this in Batman v Superman. Somebody correct me in the comment section if that's actually not the case. And he comes with this neat little attachment, which I thought was hilarious. It's actually a gas mask, which he used when when he launched the, spoilers ahead, the kryptonite bomb, gas bomb on Superman. So that was really neat to be a bit of an inclusion there. I love the details here, you know, really sculpted for his chin, but I love the little bat symbol that's right there. That's awesome. Batman branding. That's right. Batman must retain his branding. He's got a whole style guide for this. We can see the peg here that's used to actually replace on his face. Now that's interesting. I didn't even realize that. Is that a thing? Do we have to actually remove this from his faceplate here? That's going to be neat. I wonder how we do that. Like, you just get a finger under here and kind of like maneuver it out. Oh, wow. Yeah. Check it out. Just kind of put it under there and there. You can actually... Wow. I didn't even realize that. That's how close that sculpt is. And that's a testament, because I didn't even realize that was a thing. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. That is neat. I had no idea that that was a thing. Yeah, apparently that is... There's the bat... That's all you get of Ben Affleck, really. The Ben Affleck mouth. Crazy. And then you just take that, and you affix this on top. And there you go. The Batman has his rebreather so that he doesn't choke on kryptonite gas. That is freaking neat, man. That is awesome. Oop, it's not quite in. There we go. Amazing. Wow. And then, of course, the last accessory in the package is the Batman v Superman stand. And I like this. It's got that wonderful Batman v Superman logo, the branding there, and then, of course, Batman. Leading me to believe that there's going to be more figures in the line, if they haven't already been. Again, I don't know much about this line at all. I did want to give a huge shout out to Titan Toys for letting me look at this. Again, this is amazing. There's the peg in which the stand, which is nice. It's your standard stand. Ah, well, check this out. It's actually got a elastic waist holder. That's crazy. It really is next level stuff. Look at that. It actually does have, you know, the springs. There's a spring-loaded holder. Wow, that really is next level. The swivel itself has a ratchet, I believe, right here. And I might have to heat this up before I actually start using it. So I'm not going to... But you can see it bends at that level there, obviously. There's a twist here at the top, so you can twist that. And then over here, there's another bend, which you can, once again, do that. But it's the thing that's really weirding me out right now is that it's clear plastic, and that is notoriously brittle. So I really don't want to do that without heating it up. So there's another pivot point there, and of course, that's the point which you can affix to the base right there. I'm not going to do it right now, again, because, as I said, this is very brittle plastic sometimes, especially here when it comes up to Canada, so I'm not going to do that. Not today, anyway. Not today. Now we got to come into the elephant in the room, guys. This nondescript box. What the heck is this? I don't know what it is. Let's just, let's rip it open and find out. So, I think we just grab this and open it up. And then we'll just grab it from the bottom. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Holy crap. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. I think this might be an early backer bonus or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But this is awesome. Holy crap. All right, guys. So, as you can see here, we got ourselves a Bruce Wayne head replacement. That is so cool. That is Ben Affleck right there. Is it a perfect likeness of Ben Affleck? No. Is it a damn good likeness of Ben Affleck? Actually, pretty close, yeah, I have to say. He's a little younger than I would have expected. You know, it's hard to get those tiny little details of age, you know what I mean? I think maybe if they gave him a little bit more, detail in the corner of his eyes, it might have looked a little bit older. His hair also is just too there's not enough gray in there. In the movie, you actually saw some gray, in his hair. This one is too much brown. It literally looks like he's... Hair color makes a big difference, everybody. Hair color makes a really big difference. I like the shadow, the 5 o'clock shadow. That's pretty cool. And again, those wonderful little cute, cute details. I said cute details. Like the little bit of paint in his lips, the rosiness in his cheeks. That's actually kind of crazy, right? And those eyes are really neat. I think this as a bonus is incredible. This is an incredible bonus. Wow. That's crazy. And you can see he actually comes with the bottom portion of his cowl to make it fit on the Batman body. And the way we're going to do that is pretty simple. We just take the cowl here and the headpiece, and we just literally pop it right off, just like that. Very simple. There are 3 pegs on the. There are 3 pegs on where it affixes to the actual body. We can see that there. One of them is just a part of the portion that was part of his neck. And it's important to see this though. There are holes in the cape as well, so you can see that there. So you got to line those all up before, or you could possibly risk damaging, the cape itself. So you just line everything up, put the holes in the pegs. That's what she said, and you kind of just like squeeze down. It's hard to do this on camera because right? You know what? Okay, I had to do that off camera because there was no way I was going to line that up without being able to see what I was doing. So there it is. That's how that fixes on. Then we'll just grab Ben Affleck's head and just pop that on manually. There we go. Just like that. And there he is. There is Bruce Wayne as Batman. I will say that the neck is riding much higher on this version of Bruce Wayne than the Batman cowl did. If we actually just bring in the Batman cowl, you can see he kind of hunches. He's got a really thick neck as the Batman. Do you see how that works? Whereas with Bruce Wayne, it's actually quite long. His neck is actually elongated. That's interesting. Crazy. In order to swap out his hands, it's pretty simple. You just grab, and I'm gonna... You guys know my track record with pulling out hands from figures, so I'm just crossing my fingers here because I really have not heated this character up yet. So you just grab the hand like this, and you pull gently. And there he goes. So thankfully, I was really worried there for a second. The peg is the actual peg is on the ball joint itself, and you can see that here. It comes off from the wrist, and then you just take this and you put it back on here, just like this. Whew! You guys actually have no idea how scared I was when I was doing that. It was pretty scary. Now, this is the other thing, because it's on the ball peg and it does actually have a wrist articulation, is where things kind of get a little hairy in terms of like getting this to. And it keeps moving around, you see what I mean? So you just got to find the right position and then just, force it on in and hope for the best. I'm just going to put like that for now because I just don't want to. I'm just such a chicken shit right now. I just don't want to do it. Not too hard anyway. All right. Cool. As it so happens, we should do a direct comparison with another figure who, of course, why wouldn't we? It's going to be a direct comparison against the Keaton Batman from McFarlane Toys. Now, haven't done much of a review on this guy, but he is one of my favorite Batmen. I love the overall sculpt. The facial sculpt isn't exactly Bruce Wayne from the Batman 1989 film, but it's close enough in my opinion. There is, a slight resemblance to Michael Keaton. Not a direct resemblance, but, it's enough to get by. The soft goods, yeah, there's no wire in this, and it's not much of pleather, it's not much of anything. It's actually quite flimsy. But again, it gets the job done. And the sculpt overall, I mean, it is Batman. I mean, look at it. That's a wonderful musculature there. The biggest gripe that a lot of people have is that his cowl is movable. You can actually, move his head, which is, the biggest thing about Batman. He can't move his head. The Keaton version. So, having that is a big sticking point for a lot of people. But other than that, I mean, he's Batman. He has arms that can move about that much. They can swivel from the bicep, right? As well as on the double jointed elbows, which have ratchets actually built in, so he can actually punch himself in the face, right? a lot of really cool tricks, and of course his wrist articulation is very similar to what we can see with this version of the FondJoy Batman. And of course he does even have a wrist tilt. So there's a lot of cool things that can be done with this Batman. He's got an ab crunch, as we've noted before. Very little ab crunch there. A bit of the back there. And the waist is also on a ball peg. So he can be twisting around. And again, helps with the overall crunch on that side, crunch on the back. And there's no drop hip, but he does kick forward about that much. And kick back about that much. Not bad. And of course he does have the double jointed knees. Ratcheted again. Very cool. And no, he does actually have a toe articulation. I do believe that McFarlane was the one who pioneered that a little while ago. And I love those signature boots. Gotta love that. And he does have the ankle tilt forward and up. And then the swivel. Very slight swivel from side to side. It's got a bit of a rocker there, but it's a bit tight right now. So in terms of his overall articulation, it's very similar to this version with FondJoy. But putting him side by side with FondJoy, he is a lot thinner. I mean, like, this is a very beefy Batman compared to the Keaton Batman. But that's actually always been the case. These two are two very different Batman. But in terms of, like, fitting in with a 7-inch scale, because according to this is like a 9-inch scale. A 9-inch scale, which is kind of weird in my overall opinion. I'm not sure what that means, 7 inches and 9 inches. Because, yes, they are a little bit... He is a little bit taller, but not by much. So, it's interesting to see, how they decided on their scales. But he wouldn't look out of place between the two of these guys. And I have to say, they fit in rather well. So, there's a real good comparison between these two. And I would have to say that no matter what, there's a lot of pluses for the FondJoy version versus the Keaton version. There's just the McFarlane version. The price point, of course, is a bit of a difference. We're talking about, a $25 action figure versus a $75 Canadian action figure. So there is that to take into account. But having said that, this is pretty good in terms of what you actually get for your money. The hand just dropped because I didn't actually position it 100%. But still, for what you actually get, this is not a bad pairing. And he will fit in well with most of your other action figures, I would have to say. So what are my final thoughts with this version of Batman? Honestly, I just have to say it. I'm impressed. I really, really am impressed. I mean, just look at this here. The way the cape billows, and again, it's got these wires which you can use to manipulate the cape as well. If you wanted to do something a little bit more dynamic, you could achieve that with this particular cape. It's freaking crazy. The toe articulation does help. Is it a game changer? Not really, but does it actually help? I mean, look, he's actually pivoting on that one little toe right there. And again, the character himself is just really well designed. I love the sculpt, the actual likeness of Ben Affleck. That is probably another part of the overall appeal of this figure. I mean, why else would you buy this guy? That's definitely one of those reasons why. Because again, he's got this presence, this overall shelf presence that it's hard to deny. And again, with the bonus head, that is just a really great addition to this deluxe version of this FondJoy version of Batman, which is really awesome. The accessories also help. I mean, the grapnel hook, the additional swappable hands, this rebreather that of course was very pivotal in the movie itself. That's great, and I always love it when companies include stands. Stands are huge. Although this particular Batman doesn't need them, as you can see, there are no peg holes here. This is a great addition for the overall pack-out and a wonderful value. And when you think about it, this thing is what? $50 US, 60, 70, 80 $80 Canadian. This is crazy. This is a crazy value for what you actually get for this figure. And it's officially licensed. That's what really kills you in a lot of ways. The fact that this thing is an officially licensed product from China. And I really do appreciate that. What can I say about the actual figure itself? He does move well. As you can see here, he's wonderfully posed. And you can get him into a lot of dynamic poses. He comes with a lot of different, joints and features that really come with a much higher price point figure. And I gotta say, bravo. He's got the butterfly joints, he's got the drop leg, he's got the toe articulation, the double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, and of course the swappable head features and the swappable mouth feature. There's a lot of things to like about this character. Now for the cons, yes, the toes are a bit loose right out of the box. At least that's the one, the way I saw them. The cape, could it be a little bit more, stiff? Could it actually, have a stronger wire? Yes, 100%. It's not the best cape in the world. Then again, it's not the worst cape in the world. The head, when you're swapping the headpieces with the cowl, is that annoying as heck? Yes, that is really, really annoying. I had a hard time, as you saw in the review, putting his cowl on and taking it off. But that aside, those are tiny, tiny little things that, a little bit of futzing here and there, a little bit of manipulation here and there. Those are things which you can deal with. Is this the perfect sculpt of Batman v Superman Batman? No. I've heard on more than one review that this actually is not 100% correct or 100% accurate to the character from the movie. But at the same time, he looks so good. And for the price point, can you really argue that? I love the different sculpts, the textures, and that subtle wash that you can actually see reflected, when you tilt him a little bit. It really is a wonderful version of Batman. And again, the additions with, this bonus version anyway, for the price, you can't go wrong. You really can't. It's very hard to find too many negatives with this particular character. Other than that, I think if you have 50 or 60 bucks, 70 to 80, depending on where you're buying it from, especially here in Canada, why not? Give it a shot. Because this one, you could do worse with a lot of different versions of Batman. Like, seriously, you really could do worse. And again, give it a shot. There are so many different variations of Batman out there. This is just another one to try and add to your collection and see if he actually fits into your collection aesthetic for Batman v Superman and the movie editions of Batman. Guys, it's not very often that I'm taken aback by an action figure. But I gotta tell you, this little guy, he's changed my mind about a lot of things. I mean, a budget figure like this, I think he's like $50 or $60 US, $70 Canadian. Check TitanToys.com for the actual price. I think it's $69.99 Canadian for this figure, and he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. I mean, the sculpt, the detail, the articulation, everything about this guy is next level, and he's under $100. Under $100. And you know what? I would actually put him up against SH Figure Arts, Mafex, any of those guys, and especially Hasbro. I would definitely put this guy up against Hasbro 110%. Guys, head over to TitanToys.com right now. Pick up your version of FondJoy's Batman from Batman v Superman. Because this guy's going to go fast, I'm telling you right now. Once people start figuring out exactly what's going on with this guy, they're definitely going to want him. You can head over to TitanToys.com. I'll have a link in the description below. Remember, guys, if you spend $250 or more at TitanToys.com, the shipping is free in Canada and the United States. And for the value you get for this guy, pick up a couple of him and a couple of other items, and you're good to go. $250 savings for saving on shipping? Why wouldn't you do that? And of course, don't forget, guys, that they have payment plans with Cecil, so you can actually just, defer payments on this guy for quite some time before you actually have to ship it out, and that would be amazing too, wouldn't it? Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what were your thoughts about FondJoy's Batman v Superman? I mean, oh man, I was blown away, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know if you guys are going to be able to put down some money for this guy, because again, he's not that expensive in terms of like an action figure with this much detail, this much articulation. I think it's time to get this guy in hand as soon as possible. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey, everybody. Geek proud. I'm Batman.